Here's something that might surprise you. There's only one miracle story that appears in all four Gospels, and it involves feeding 5,000 people with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. The math just doesn't add up. And that's exactly what makes it so fascinating.
That's such an intriguing detail. And what really strikes me is how this massive logistical challenge mirrors problems we face today with resource distribution and crisis management.
You know what's particularly compelling? The setting itself tells us so much. Jesus and his disciples had just received devastating news about John the Baptist's death, and they were trying to find a quiet moment to process everything.
The human dynamics in that moment are incredible. Instead of showing frustration when the crowds follow them, Jesus demonstrates remarkable compassion.
Well, what fascinates me is how Jesus uses this as a teaching moment. He specifically asks Philip about feeding the crowd, even though, the text tells us he already knew exactly what he was going to do.
That's exactly what caught my attention too. Philip immediately starts calculating costs like a modern day project manager, saying 8 months' wages wouldn't even give everyone a bite.
And then there's Andrew. Oh man, he actually shows some initiative by finding this boy with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But even as he mentions it, he's already dismissing it as inadequate. It's like watching someone present an idea in a meeting while simultaneously apologizing for it.
You know what's really interesting about those barley loaves? In that culture, barley bread was specifically the food of the poor. This wasn't some fancy picnic basket.
That's such a crucial historical detail. And the way Jesus handles the situation is fascinating. He has everyone sit in organized groups of 50s and 100s, just like Moses organized the Israelites in the wilderness. He's deliberately echoing that history while doing something completely new.
So, what do you make of the 12 baskets of leftovers? That seems like such a specific detail to include in the story.
Well, it's brilliant, actually. One basket for each disciple to carry, like physical evidence they could hold in their hands. And we're not talking about a few crumbs. These were full baskets after feeding thousands of people.
The way the story transitions is fascinating too. The crowd goes from being amazed to trying to force Jesus to become king. They completely misread the significance of what just happened.
That's what makes the following scene on the Sea of Galilee so powerful. Jesus deliberately sends the disciples into what becomes a storm while he goes off to pray. It's like, a divine setup for another teaching moment about trust.
The timing is incredible. These guys are already exhausted from feeding thousands. Now they're fighting the storm in the dark, and suddenly they see someone walking on water.
And here's what's really profound. When Jesus says, "It is I," to his terrified disciples, he's using the Greek phrase that translates to "I am," the same name God used with Moses at the burning bush. He's revealing his divine nature while addressing their very human fears.
That connection between the two miracles is fascinating. In both cases, Jesus lets the situation develop until human solutions are clearly inadequate.
You know what really challenges me personally? The disciples witnessed this incredible miracle with the loaves and fishes. But just hours later, they're panicking in the storm, as if they'd never seen Jesus do anything miraculous before.
Well, that's painfully relatable, isn't it? We all have testimonies of past provision, but when the next crisis hits,
The real power of these stories isn't just in the supernatural elements, it's in how they reveal Jesus' character and teaching methods. He's not just displaying power, he's building trust and understanding in his followers.
that really brings it home for modern audiences. Whether it's resource scarcity or feeling overwhelmed by circumstances beyond our control, these stories speak to universal human experiences.
And perhaps that's why this particular miracle appears in all four Gospels. It's not just about multiplication of food or walking on water. It's about how we handle seemingly impossible situations when our resources seem completely inadequate for the challenge ahead.